By now, you're probably chomping at the bit to download the SDK. As of this writing, Apple offers Xcode 4 as part of the same download as version 4.3 of the SDK. You use Xcode 4 and SDK version 4.3 to develop apps for iOS version 4.3 for the iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad. You can also use Xcode 4 and version 4.3 to develop apps that are compatible with older versions of iOS. To download Xcode 4 and the SDK, go to the iOS Dev Center. To get to the iOS Dev Center, point your browser to developer.apple.com/devcenter/iOS. To download the iOS SDK, click the Downloads link at the top of the iOS Dev Center page. That takes you to the bottom of the page where you find a Download Xcode 4 button. Click the Download Xcode 4 button. That button takes you to the Download Xcode 4 page. Here you can scroll down to find the Xcode 4 and iOS SDK 4.3 link. You also can find the Xcode 4 README file, which is very useful information to read before installing Xcode 4. It takes a bit of time to download the iOS SDK, so let's assume we've already done it and show you what it looks like after it comes onto your desktop. The browser downloads a disk image file with a DMG extension to your desktop or to your downloads folder, or to whichever folder you use for downloads with your browser. You double-click the disk image file to open it. Double-click the Xcode and iOS SDK package in order to run the installer. The installer installs Xcode and the iOS SDK in your internal hard drive, in the developer folder, and inside the developer folder in your applications folder. And here is Xcode, ready to start your very first iPhone or iPad app.